And I need my notes. It's still spinning.
Calling the meeting adjourned.
All right, if anyone's there, can you comment so I can know for sure that we are live? Okay, I do see one viewer. Oh, two viewers. Okay, so since I can see viewers, I'm going to assume that we are live. So first off, I have a little helper because it's not quite bedtime and she doesn't want anybody but mom right now, and dad's not home yet. Hi, Tom. So tomorrow is our 6th annual Cure for Cluster virtual 5K. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to join us on the Facebook Live and for participating or donating to the event. A lot of people return to do it with us every year, and that's really awesome. We continuously get more than 100 people to sign up. This year we have 108, which is a little less than last year, but it's still awesome. And I hope that all of your packages arrived okay and intact. One thing I wanted to mention is these cool, they look like ribbons in your packages, but they're actually reusable cool necklaces. So what I did, and the directions are on it, but you soak it for 60 minutes and then put it in the fridge for 15 minutes and it stays cool, like it plumps up and it stays cool around your neck. So it'll be awesome if you're doing the 5K outside in an area where it's going to be really hot tomorrow. So I would recommend getting that ready tonight. So as far as 5K safety, if you are doing it on a treadmill, this doesn't really apply, but if you're going outside and doing it at a park, bring water with you, maybe a snack. If you have to bring your oxygen with you, that's not an issue. Plenty of people have done that. Bring your kids and your pets and just make it a really fun time. And I hope that you are able to talk about cluster headaches with anybody you run into. The shirts can usually help with that. I'm hoping that we will be able to talk to a few of our new neighbors because we recently moved. So as far as tomorrow's timeline, in Michigan, we are going to get started at 8 a.m. That's because she goes down for a nap around 9 and we want to do it with her. It's supposed to be pretty rainy here. Hopefully the rest of you will have better weather than we are supposed to have. But you can run or walk at any time. I will go live again tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can do it at night, earlier. If you do it at night, make sure that you wear reflective gear so that you can be seen by any cars that are driving by. Oh, what else? Make sure you take... Yeah, that's fun. Make sure that you take photos of you in these t-shirts. This is what they look like. And post to social media using the hashtag #CureForCluster hashtag so that we'll be able to see your posts, and it's really awesome to be able to click on that and see them on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. If you are not on social media, you probably aren't seeing this, but feel free to email me the photos and I can include them in the collage that I make every year. While it's too late to sign up to participate, we do still accept donations through the website. If anyone in your family or friend circle wants to donate to the event, they can do so on your behalf. They just go to the donate tab on the website where, did you drop it? And they can type in your name and donate on your behalf. And if you want to know how much you personally raised, send me an email and I can get you that number. 100% of the proceeds of this event go to research. And in the past, the monies we've raised have helped publish data from the International Cluster Headache Survey. And they've been published on Oxygen about the demographics of cluster headaches and most notably, in my opinion, the severity of cluster headaches and how disabling they are and how they are considered worse than like kidney stones and pancreatitis and gunshot wounds. You will find a printout in your swag bag of some of the findings from that. It's the colorful one with some graphs. Let's see. I do want to talk a little bit about cluster headaches and the reason why we do this. I've had episodic cluster headaches since 2007, but luckily they've been largely under control the last couple years, thanks to cluster busters and what I learned at my first conference in Nashville. The conference this year is in Chicago. What are you doing? Okay, you're so cheesy. And my husband, who's not with me on live this year, he's had chronic cluster headaches since he was 12. So we met because we both have cluster headaches and through cluster busters. So advocacy and raising awareness and funding for research is really important to both of us. Let's see. Last year, I asked cluster headache patients in one of our groups. Sorry, one of the dogs is barking. Yeah, 6 p.m. at our house is pretty crazy. Last year, I asked. Sorry. Hold on. I think we're okay. Last year, I asked cluster headache patients in a couple of the Facebook groups what they wished society knew about cluster headaches, and these were the top things that were mentioned. The first is that cluster headaches are not the same as migraine disease. They differ in several ways, but the biggest ways that they are different are the location and description of the pain. Cluster headaches are like a lancing, stabbing pain on one side of the head, around the eye and temple. And migraines, while they can be one-sided, migraine attacks, while they can be one-sided, they can also be two-sided and can feel like a vice, and like stabbing, and they vary more than cluster headaches do. Cluster headache patients want to pace and rock around, like can't really sit still during attacks, versus a dark, quiet room. The length of attacks and frequency are very different too. Personally, I get cluster headaches up to 6 times a day when I'm in a cycle. My husband gets around 8, sometimes more if he's in high cycle. And they can last anywhere from 15 minutes to 3 hours. Whereas migraine attacks can last 3 days or longer in severe cases. And the treatments are also different. Oxygen works amazingly well for cluster headaches. Unfortunately, it does not work well for migraine disease. The other thing cluster headache patients wanted society to know were that these are suicide headaches, and it's really important to discuss the severity of the condition and that it doesn't invalidate the severity of other diseases. The survey I mentioned earlier, don't turn it off. The survey I mentioned earlier found that out of the 2,270 people who responded, they rated cluster headaches worse than pancreatitis, shingles, migraine disease, childbirth, gunshot wounds, and kidney stones. Despite that, when we go to the ER, we're not treated. You wait around, and by the time that you're seen, the attack has passed. So it's important to talk about the sudden and severe nature so that we're treated appropriately by medical professionals. The next thing is psychedelics. They can be an amazingly effective treatment with real and lengthy results. Yale and Harvard and Hanover, Germany have all studied these substances, and they're gaining more and more notoriety as we go on. Like Ann Arbor decriminalized mushrooms, maybe LSD, and I think Washington did too, but I don't want to say that if I'm wrong. And the next is that there is a serious lack of sleep with cluster headaches because they often wake you in the night, and like you can't even tell that you wake up when it's full blown and you have to run to the oxygen tank or to grab your injection, and then you're afraid to go back to sleep because you know that you're just going to wake up with another one as soon as you hit REM sleep. I touched on oxygen a little already, but it's also common for cluster headache patients to have PTSD from attacks and to experience agoraphobia, anxiety, and depression. And that cluster headaches are not actually a rare disease. Like we often talk about how it's one of the rarer forms of headache disorders, but in the scheme of things, it's not that rare. 1 in 1,000 is the same amount of people who have Parkinson's disease or autism. Let's see, what else? So it's also important that we do these awareness events and discuss cluster headaches because misdiagnosis and delayed diagnosis are a serious issue. It's particularly hard for women and people of color to get the right diagnosis and the correct treatments, because the treatments are so specific for cluster headaches that if you don't have the diagnosis, you're not going to stumble upon the treatment. All right, I think that's all of my talking points. I am keeping it short this year because I have this little one who needs to be in bed within the next half an hour. But I want to thank you all for tuning in, and anyone watching after the fact. And thank you to participants and those who donated or fundraised for the event. Ainsley Course, for example, she had a really outstanding personal fundraiser this year, raised over $1,000, I think. And also these nifty things that I pointed out in the beginning, they were donated by Colette Wilhelm, which was really awesome of her. She works for a marketing company and put this together for me. So we've come a long ways in the last 6 years, and I'm really excited to see our event continue to grow. Please tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. If you plan to run or walk with us at the same time as we are in Michigan. And remember to post all of your photos tomorrow using the #CureForCluster phrase on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can tag the Clusterbusters accounts as well. The Clusterbusters Twitter is @cluster_buster, and it's just Clusterbusters on Instagram and Facebook. So with that, I am going to sign off and thank my little co-star here, and I'm really excited about tomorrow. Thanks. Oh, well, there aren't any comments for questions, so if you comment with a question, I will respond to it. So thanks again, everybody. Bye.